Welcome back to another episode of the Words Home Show. This is episode 7. This week we'll have some new rankings out. We didn't have an episode last week just because I was out of town with baseball. So week 7 rankings. Last was, I think, week 5. The last
Yeah.
one was week 5 or maybe week 4. I don't know.
No, it
This
was
is
fine.
week 7 this week. So we're 7 episodes in. So that's perfect for the.
Well, we
We did that
missed.
first one.
Yeah, but we missed two,
Yeah.
so we're six in. Six
7.
episodes.
I think we're 7.
No, because we didn't do rankings one week. The very first week of the season.
So it's episode 6?
I think it's episode 7, but we just didn't do the
Oh,
rankings one
okay.
week.
Yeah, gotcha. Well, then we'll do rankings today. New top 5. Some new guys up there. Game of the week was Baldwin Oakleaf, and then last Friday, Bulls versus Episcopal. And then we got talk about player of the games from both of those. Presented by Represent Baseball. And then we'll go over the game of the week that's happening this week. I didn't put a graphic up, but we'll just kind of just say
Talk
what
about
it
it.
was
Yeah, talk
and
about it a little bit.
some of the records that we got. Anyways, joining here with Gage Denby. Still here. How you doing today, man?
I'm doing good.
It's good.
Slow start to the morning. Every time we
Yeah.
we
Some
come film
something
these,
doesn't go our way.
we probably plan on doing it, and then it starts about an hour later than that. But
That's what happened today and the
we're just
last
boys.
time.
We're just boys.
Anyways, Gage will put out some rankings. I'll pop up the names on the screen and then we'll kind of just go over.
All right, so we're here, week 7 rankings, but it's the sixth time we've done rankings because week 1 we did them in the preseason and we didn't do them that week. But here we go. Coming in at number 5, making their first appearance on the list after being one of those teams we've kind of mentioned on the bubble recently is Tacoy Creek. Tacoy Creek has been consistent all season, and they have a record of 13-3. They face Suncoast and then Trinity later in the week, which we'll be keeping our eyes on that game. Kind of interested to see how that goes. Just looking at Tacoy's schedule, they haven't maybe had big wins over the top teams. Probably their best win so far is Clay, but then again, they're 13-3, so they're not really losing games. So I'm excited to see how that game against Trinity goes. And then Tacoy is led at the plate by junior Aiden Ramos, who's batting 462, and on the mound by junior Kennesaw State commit Nate Wade, who has pitched 25 innings and only has a .56 ERA, so he's been balling out this year. And then at the number 4 spot, weren't on the list last week, but we have Bowles, another newcomer. Bowles had a big win last week in our Where's Home podcast game of the week, which we'll go over a little bit later against Episcopal, and they bring their record to 12-4. They have a better record than maybe a couple of the teams above them on the list, but I just don't think they have done enough to jump over them yet. Bowles has a big matchup tonight against Creekside at home, so we're gonna be looking at that. Chandler may be going out there; he hasn't decided yet. And then Bulls is led by Levi Peachker on the mound, who has pitched 32 innings and only has a 1.7 ERA, so he's been balling out as well. And then coming in at number 3, we have the Spartans of St. John, who hold their ground at 3, even though they haven't had a good past 2 weeks. Their record now is 11-6. They've lost a couple when they went down to South Walton, and then one when they got back to Columbia. And then Spartan's been battling a few injuries as of late, but I'm keeping them at the number 3 because I said I don't think that the teams below them have done anything to deserve to jump above them yet. They have a big matchup again this week against Providence, which we'll talk about a little bit later. And then coming at number 2, we have Providence for the second week in a row. Like St. John's, they had a rough week going down to South Walton and then coming back. Haven't been playing too hot as of late. Their record is now also 11-6. This upcoming game against St. John's will be big for both teams, not only as a confidence booster when you're when you're struggling, and then you have a big game coming up. They can kind of change the way that things are going. So it'll be a big watch in the city to see who can win that game. And then also Providence has games against Bartram and Episcopal as well, so they can't go ahead and look forward to that St. John's game because they got to focus against two good teams in the city. I would like to see the bats get a little hotter to help out the staff that's been pretty consistent this year. I feel like the bats have been struggling a little bit as of late. So if they can get those going, I think they'll be just fine. And then top on the list again with little to no surprise is Trinity. I think it's pretty number one consensus that they're the top team in the city. Now with a record of 11-3 with most recent wins over Providence, a 10-0 win, which is
Yeah.
pretty big win.
Senior night.
Yeah, senior night there. And then they also beat North Marion and Lincoln. Trinity is starting to play more like that team that everyone expected them to be to start the year. We've talked about their hitting slacking to start the year, but their hitting's been picking it up as of late. Starting to hit more home runs. The ball's flying off the bats a little more, and the pitching has been pretty dominant and consistent all year long. Trinity is led by Brady Harris, who's batting 394, and Gage Patrutz, who's batting 360. The team's hit a total of 10 home runs, and they've also had a couple of injuries as of late. But
Yeah.
it's good to see that they're not falling off at all, really, and still battling through and finding ways to win games. But tell me a little bit how you think about those rankings.
Yeah, I like that. Trinity, obviously, they're going to stay at number one.
Mm-hmm.
The people they've lost to, they just lost to
IMG,
Jesuit,
IMG,
IMG.
two really good
I
teams.
feel like they lost another one.
Uh,
Buchholz.
yeah.
And I don't know if they're still undefeated, but they were for a while. They still could be. I feel like we're a little low. Yeah, I think it was good. You'll see. We'll just announce it now. The
Yeah,
worst home game of the week for this week.
yeah. How
Week 7 will be 2 versus 3. Providence versus St. John's Friday night.
yeah, really big game.
Um,
I
I
think
think I think there'll be a lot of people there. I'm not sure if there's any other great games on Friday night, but if you're someone wanting to watch high school baseball or like to watch high school baseball, that's the game you want to go to this week.
talk to me a little about obviously you play for St. John's. Hasn't been too good recently. Talk to me a little bit about maybe what you're doing to prepare for like a big game like this. Try and get the swing of things back.
Well, obviously we kind of figure out kind of we know what we don't know, like who's pitching against us. We have a clue who's pitching against us, so we kind of prepare for that. Whether that's off the cage or a coach is throwing
Hmm.
to us, whatever he throws. Um, so we usually plan for that. We need to always get the offense rolling
Hmm.
because that's how you win ball games is the
Yeah,
offense, and then the defense. Just throw our best hitters out there, and good things will happen if we score runs. But with a good team like that, they have a good offense, they have a good defense, so I think it'll be a good matchup
probably
for both of us.
probably y'all's biggest game in the city this year because you don't play Trinity
Yeah,
at all. So you
I
played bowls already, so probably like the biggest
I
in the
say
city
so. Yeah,
game for y'all. So it's kind of a statement game, maybe.
I think that's Braden Harris start too.
Oh, go ahead
Friday
and say
night,
that
Braden
out.
Harris. Well, they can figure that out if they just look when he starts.
Yeah, he's been pretty good. If you
Yeah, pretty
keep up
solid.
with high school baseball,
Florida
especially in
State commit.
Jacksonville, yeah, he's pretty
We'll
good.
see though. He could pitch Thursday. We play Wednesday.
Didn't
Play
know if you
Oakleaf
were
Wednesday.
go ahead and say that out there, but I guess
It's out there now.
if they watch the show or when
Sorry,
the show comes out.
sorry, coach.
Yeah,
They probably already know that anyways.
probably.
Game of the week, Baldwin Oakleaf. This was I think last week. Or the week was it last week?
Well, this is it was
It
the
was
week
last week.
before last week
Yeah, yeah,
because
yeah.
last week was Bowls Episcopal.
That's right. So a week before last week, Gage and Ashton were there. I was in South Walton at this. I think I was traveling to South Walton
Yeah,
when this
this
game was
was
happening. A Thursday
it's
night.
actually me and Seth there.
Seth was there.
That's why we didn't have a Twitter or
Yeah.
anything for this game because it was just me really. He's
Game of the week: Baldwin versus Oakleaf. Oakleaf 8, Baldwin 3.
hmm
Baldwin had their guy on the mound, so that was
yeah
kind of surprising to me to see Oakleaf score that many runs. Oakleaf is a sneaky team and always is. They have the energy.
yeah they play with a lot
Inning,
of
yeah,
passion and that
first
does a
inning to
lot.
the seventh inning. That helps a lot. Having a lot of energy
Hmm.
gives you confidence and stuff like that.
Yep, and that's
Uh,
exactly what they did. They came out hot. It's been a few weeks now. I don't remember exactly what the score was, But I remember they jumped up early, and we were like, oh, maybe this game will like kind of go over quickly. It's the way it was looking.
Who'd they
Nothing,
play?
huh?
You talking about him?
Talking about Oakleaf and Baldwin.
Oh, I thought you said it. You don't remember what the score was. I thought you were
Like
talking about
in
beginning of the year.
through the innings, like I
Okay.
don't remember the score, but it came out with a lot of passion, and then like you said, Baldwin had their guy on the mound, and he just wasn't throwing enough strikes, I don't think, and it's kind of just you have a couple free bases, and then Oakleaf capitalizes,
Yeah.
and they play with passion. They play the game fast. There was a clip in there if you watch the game where I think somebody walked. Maybe it
And then
was
yeah.
they walked, and then
I guess the catcher lobbed it back to the
yeah,
pitcher or
he went
something.
off, took to second. I think it was Jeter.
Might have been.
I think so because he bats after JP, and
Yeah.
then went off, took off to second, playing heads up baseball. No one's looking. They turn to look to second, and by that time, JP comes home and
Yeah.
scores. And so, just things like that when you're playing the game
Small
fast,
things win.
yeah, you can really take advantage. But yeah, I was there. Scary moment happened out there in the outfield.
Left field.
Yeah. Hope he's doing okay. Haven't really heard much about that, but
I'll have to ask coach about that.
yeah.
Um. Anyways, Baldwin. I mean, Oakley 8, Baldwin 3. Head
Mm-hmm.
coach Matt Carter, head coach BB Osteen, best friends since I think they were younger.
Mm-hmm.
I was actually talking to Coach BB for Baldwin that Wednesday before the game. Uh, I was like, you know who's Oakley pitching? He was like, no, I've been best friends with Matt for so long. He still won't tell me who's pitching.
They got
So
to
that's
keep
pretty
it.
funny.
They had a little extra bit on that
Yeah,
game just to talk some trash afterwards or whatever, some little friendly.
yeah, I'd say so. And they coached with each other for a while as well.
Mhm. I remember.
But if you look at the Baldwin, I mean, if you look at the bottom, Oakleaf has 6 hits. Baldwin has 3 hits. So it looks like, uh, even when I was editing it, Baldwin's offense struggled a lot.
Yeah.
Um, they had that one triple that I think scored 2 runs.
Mm-hmm.
So that kind of made the score look a little better.
Yep.
I think that was later on, maybe third, fourth inning.
Yeah, it was
Um,
right around there. I think it had to be the top of the fourth, I
yeah,
think. And then there was that break, like we said, that moment out there in left field,
yeah,
which that took probably 30 minutes, I'd say, for play to start happening. I was actually surprised that both the starting pitchers
we're still pitching
were
after
back in
that.
the game
Yeah,
because in that moment nobody was throwing or anything, so they sat down for 30-ish minutes and it
that's
just went
hard to do.
straight on the field and do it. Yeah, I would have.
Anyway, so we'll go over the player of the game for this game. Jeter Farina. Stat line was 1 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs. Um, I think we're a little laggy. Gage, you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
You're here, but your screen isn't. Anyways, I put down at the bottom. Gina Farina, a 2027 uncommitted prospect, went 1 for 3 with a double and 2 RBIs in his team's 8-3 win over Baldwin, playing a key role with his clutch hitting. I've
Yeah,
seen Jeter play a few times. He's legit,
yeah,
and I
and he
think
has a lot of. He brings that energy that we were talking about.
yeah,
When he stands up at the plate,
yeah,
actually,
for
he's up
sure.
there. Every ball he's taking, he's like, no,
Yeah,
every
he's
time.
got a
He's
lot of
just
energy,
he's locked in all
which
the
is what
time.
you want on a team. You want the confidence.
And
You want a guy up the box that the team's going to be confident about.
yeah, and he plays shortstop, and they
Play
have a
shortstop.
really good middle infield.
Yeah, they do.
Oakleaf does.
JP Espinoza.
The other player, I think they kind of just like,
That's a duo right there.
yeah, they're kind of the guys that like get the team going a little
Yeah,
bit.
I agree. Uh, Jeter's fun to watch. Great player. I think maybe next year you'll see a nice commitment post on his Instagram.
I wouldn't be
Um,
surprised.
Colleges can start talking to him in August. Anyways, it's a great player. Represent baseball. It's going to send him over a shirt. And if you haven't told, we're repping Represent Baseball this episode. So shout out to them. Shout out to Jake over there.
Use
Um,
code.
use code WHP25 for I think 25 or 30% off,
There you go.
somewhere around there. So go
Go
use
check
the
it out.
code. You can buy
The
anything on
tees
there.
feel nice.
These are
You can't
nice,
lie. Yeah.
perfect quality. I'd get up, but it says Represent Baseball and camo back there.
Mhm.
Um, Yeah, I think that was a good game of the week. We try to mix it up a little bit. We didn't want a Trinity of Providence Snyder,
Yep.
so I think it was nice to get a Baldwin Oakleaf in there.
Yep.
And then this week we already talked about it. We finally the St. John's in there, which
Yep.
is
For
pretty
the
cool.
first time, surprisingly,
First
but
time.
like we said, you
Put them
guys
up.
don't play all some of the teams in Jacksonville for.
Yeah, we want to get some other teams, so maybe next week. We usually look at game of the week polls the Friday or Saturday, and then we put it out on the Saturday or Sunday. So we don't really know what's going on next week until the end of the week. Anyways, the Baldwin Oakleaf game is on YouTube, so go check that out for us. Subscribe and do all that good stuff. We'll go on a break and come back talking about the Bulls and Episcopal game. Make sure you guys go check out Carry Apparel. Carry Apparel draws inspiration from positive quotes. On the website, it says, "In life, we go through challenges. Sometimes athletes go through additional life challenges. Carry Apparel strives to keep individuals in a positive mindset. Be ready is the basis of their business. Always be ready because you never know when you are called upon and it's your turn to show your abilities. Be ready in everything you do, whether that's at school, work, or as an athlete. Always be ready." Make sure you guys go check them out on Instagram and check out their website, carryapparel.com. If you guys are wanting to play at the next level or even go to another school, North Florida showcases the design for high school, junior college, and transfer portal baseball players who want to showcase their skills in front of college coaches. These events also provide the latest metrics including batting exit velocity, throwing velocity, 60-yard dash times, and more. They're dedicated to helping players become prospective student athletes at the next level. Make sure you guys go check them out on Instagram and X. North Florida Showcases. We're back from the break. See up there on the screen, that's the game of the week last week. Bulls 9-4 Episcopal, which I thought was, you weren't there, but Ashton was there with me taking pictures. Run a little bit of the Twitter, and I think that was the best game of the week yet.
Really?
There was a lot of people there,
Yeah.
like a
Really
lot of
packed.
people there. Umpire was bad, which the parents were letting them hear him.
Yeah,
Or
you showed me a couple
yeah,
videos from the game of people getting a little heated, but yeah, I
which is
missed out.
awesome.
I missed out on this. See, Bulls won 9-4. From this, it just looks like a kind of a little bit of
A normal game.
a blowout or a
Yeah.
little bit. But tell me a little bit about the game and then kind of like the environment there.
So first inning, obviously what Bulls is hitting. Dominic DiLoretto is pitching for Episcopal, which I actually have down. He topped 89 during the game. I don't know how much he pitched. I can look here real quick. 2 innings on the dot. Didn't command well the first inning.
Yeah.
I don't know how many walks, but he had a good amount of walks. I think Bulls had 4 hits in the first inning,
Ooh.
which they had 9 the whole game. So if you have 4 hits and a few walks,
They're gonna put score some runs.
they
Yeah.
scored 4 runs, I believe. Um, then they get the 3 outs. Episcopal is now hitting, and then Rylan Baker's pitching. I think he's just now coming back from an injury. I believe someone said this was his first time pitching coming back from the injury. I could be wrong. But he kind of had a slow start as well. Let's see how many innings he pitched. He ended up pitching 5 innings, 95 pitches. Um, he had a slow start, a few walks, couldn't command it well. The umpire was really bad. I want
Was
to
he
say
tight or was he just
just
inconsistent?
inconsistent, like bad. Might have been the worst one yet
So
I've
the
seen.
Bulls jump out to like a big lead at the beginning
So Bowles was winning, and they scored 4, but then Episcopal came back and scored 3
in the first.
in the first.
Okay,
So
so
it was
it
close
was
there.
still yeah.
Parents were still kind of going back and forth, which was fun. People had to stand up for there wasn't seating left, so it was
Okay.
It's pretty cool to see.
Yeah, probably
And then
the most packed game. Maybe
yeah,
this one
I
coming up
think it
too.
was this one might be pretty bad coming up as well. Anyways, Bulls had 9 hits, 0 errors. Episcopal 4, with 1 error. I think they scored their fourth run. Could be wrong, but third, fourth inning. So
Okay.
it's kind of like uh, Bulls had control of the game
Yeah.
till after the second or third inning.
Yeah, supposed to, or expect this game to be a little packed. Maybe kind of
Yeah,
like two of the nicer schools in Jacksonville, you could
it's kind of a
say.
rival. I
Yeah.
saw one of the kids post that it was a rival game,
Okay.
so
I
guess it's
expected
a
it to
rival.
be a little bit, but I wasn't too sure. So it's good to see that the game of the week
Kind of
was it
surprised that they won.
who both?
Yeah, no, I'm saying like the game of the week poll.
Oh,
I'm surprised
oh,
this
oh.
this won because you had Trinity Providence up there, and that's always a big game.
Which we're
But I'm
glad.
glad
Yeah,
because this game was 9-4, and it was like both teams were fighting the whole game. Even they were down 9-4. But if we wanted that Trinity
yeah.
Providence game,
That
they
was
know
not a
went
good
five
game.
innings, 10-0, senior night.
Yeah, that was
So
not a
I'm
good
glad
game.
this one won, and yeah, we'll go over some of the game changer stats. We'll pull them up on the screen. We actually forgot to do it for Baldwin versus Oakley. Uh, Jackson Geist went 1 for 3 at the plate with an RBI and a walk. Rylan Baker, the starting pitcher, went 2 for 4 with a walk. And then we got our player of the game, Denzel, went 2 for 4 with 4 RBIs and a double. He had a great night at the plate. James McCraney, I believe his name is, went 1 for 3 with 2 RBIs. And then Jackson Richer, pinch hit, 1 for 1 with an RBI. And then we'll look at the pitching there. As you see, Rylan Baker, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 runs, 4 earned runs, 5 walks, 3 Ks, which is great for his first start back coming off an injury
Yeah,
that he had.
I bet he felt good getting
Yeah,
back out there. Big game like this.
he actually topped 85 there. Um, they only pitched 2 guys. If you look at Episcopal, they pitched a good amount of pitchers. I think 4. They put in Jackson Richard to close out the last 2 innings. I believe he's a 27, could be a 28. I'd
Okay.
have to check on that, but I know he's a young guy. Jackson Richard, 2 innings pitched, 0 hits, 0 runs, 0 earned runs, 1 walk,
Good job.
2 Ks. Which being that young and being in that type of game,
Yeah, it gets a little
you get a little nerve
nerve
wracking.
wracking.
Yeah,
Especially depends also like maybe I don't know how many times he's closed out games this year or not, but being in those moments, I think anytime you're in those moments, anyways, you do have a little bit of nerves. Whether you can turn that nerves into excitement is where I think you can flip the switch, and
yeah.
he did a good job there.
Jackson topped out at 79 the other night, which is not
Almost
bad
at
for a
any
lefty there.
two lefties
He's
they
got a
threw.
weird arm action too.
Yeah,
Really, it's a different arm action. So I was even hearing parents talking about it, saying how weird it was, and it's hard to hit, and he kind of showed it. 0 hits, 2 innings. I will show the Episcopal stats here. I don't know most of these kids, so I'll try to pronounce their last names. The leadoff hitter went 1 for 3 on the walk. We got Monty, last name Monty, number 8, 2 for 4 at the plate with a RBI, 4 hole. Divine went 1 for 3 with a double. O'Hara 1 for 3 with an RBI, and then that's their 5 hits right there. Um, go back to the final score. I put that they had 5 hits, right?
yeah,
Yeah. All right. Yeah, they had 5 hits, 4 RBIs. Obviously, they walked 6 times, which is not bad.
yep,
Um, Dominic Delaretto pitched 2 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs, 5 earned, 3 walks, 3 Ks. Kind of a tough outing for Dominic, and that's actually his old school he pitched against. He was
Mhm.
there last year. He transferred over this year to Episcopal. So those kids on Bowles knew that
Yeah.
coming into the game, and
Probably faced him
obviously
a good amount of times.
Delaredo knew that as well. So probably some nerves from Dominic Delaredo coming in facing his boys, um, which you could definitely see that on the mound. A lot of energy. Umpire didn't help either though. So we got Dom topped 89. McDonald threw 4 innings, 1 hit, 2 runs, 1 earned, 2 walks, and 5 Ks.
It was a good outing.
Yeah, it was a good outing. He topped 88. Jude McDonald. We got Clem Nelson, 0.2 innings, 2 hits, 2 runs, 2 earned, 2 walks, 1 strikeout. He topped out at 88. And then Kevin Sullivan, number 23, through the last out, zero point 0.1 innings, 0 hits, 0 earned, 0 walks, and 1 strikeout. So four
Yeah.
pitchers.
Just seems like looking at the stats, I wasn't there, but
Yeah,
Bulls kind of just did better at everything, hitting and pitching. So I mean,
in
probably gonna win
defense, they
by.
had some good plays.
They did.
They had some good
Well,
plays out there.
that's the recipe for success. If you can win all three facets of the game,
Yeah,
you'll probably win. Maybe not every time.
yeah. Go check it out on YouTube. It's out now on YouTube. Trying to get our views up a little bit. Our subscribers are get up a little bit, but I think that was a good game. It was filmed with the new camera we got. So,
Best quality
um,
yet.
huh?
Best quality
Yeah, best
yet.
quality yet for the YouTube video, which um, we might be filming. I might be filming a game tonight, as you said earlier, Bulls versus Creekside. I think that would be a good game, honestly.
Hmm.
And Bulls could kind of show us tonight if they should be in the top five,
Oh, they
which
are.
I think they should be in the top
Yeah.
five. But Creekside's been hot
Maybe
lately.
if they can climb. If they win this
If they win
game,
this,
then you got St. John's and Providence
they'll be
playing
yeah,
this
they'll
week.
climb
I
up.
I would expect them to, or
I
I'll
think
probably
they'll
put
come
them in
up.
the top three.
Yeah, yeah,
I mean, I do it, so
yeah.
I'll put
It's
them in the
on
top
you.
three.
All right. We'll go player of the game presented by Represent Baseball. Denzel, the Valley actually posted this one last night, so people are still seeing it. Player of the game, 2 for 4 at the plate, 2 doubles, 4 RBIs, and then let's see if I can see this. Denzel the Valley, a talented 2026 uncommitted player, had a standout performance, going 2 for 4 at the plate with a double and driving in four RBIs, and his team's 9-4 victory over Episcopal. His clutch hitting played a key role in securing the win, which is true. They had nine runs. He had 4 RBIs of his own,
Big,
and he actually had. Let me think of what happened. Not a his single that he had was like an inside the Parker. So it was like he hit a single. Um, I was filming, so I don't really see everything that's
yeah,
going on. So I guess there was an error. I guess he was going to
in
second,
the
and there was
outfield.
an error. There might have been an outfield. Some type of error. They threw it away twice,
Okay,
and he scored.
yeah. I
So
mean, 4 RBIs, 2 hits. You don't
pretty solid.
if you're having 4 RBIs in the game, you're not leaving runners on. Uh,
Yeah,
did a good job of that. Imagine if he Ks both those at bats he has that he gets hits in. Maybe this game is five to
it's
four,
different.
five
Yeah,
to four, or 6-4, and then so big at bats from Denzel. Actually, really like these uniforms.
yeah. To the black.
Yeah, and I love pinstripes. I think they look great. Especially when people wear them just on the pants. I just think it looks good.
Yeah, I agree. I like the all black. I want to see what it looked like if they had black pants with
Really?
maybe
See,
a orange stripe on the side or a blue stripe.
I I just like I feel like I have become someone who's not a fan of like full colored uniforms because I think that's just how everybody's went
Yeah,
recently. Like everyone has an all black or everyone has an all blue or an all red or something like that. So when I actually enjoy when people just wear like a blue or like a different color top in their pants and then when you match them with pinstripes, I think that
Yeah, that's pretty cool.
looks nice.
That's the first time I've seen them wear those. I,
Really?
I think they've worn them earlier in the year, but
Did not wear them last year?
I don't remember.
Hmm.
Not that I remember. They look newer than me.
Oh. I could have swore Bulls had black jerseys last year, but
I don't know. I don't remember. Anyways, congratulations. Presented by Represent Baseball. We'll send them over a shirt. The last two player of the games, and then let's see. We'll pull up. We'll go over the next game of the week, and we'll kind of share screen. Some stat leaders for both teams. I have it pulled up on Max Preps. So let's share the screen. We got Providence versus St. John's. Let me move this mic over. Let's see. We got TJ Sunderhouse batting 448. For the Spartans, he's the batting average leader. Preston Cole batting 400. Braden Harris is 333.
Mm-hmm.
Home runs. Hunter Rogers has 4.
Bunch of home runs.
Bunch of home runs.
You expect from
TJ has 3. Preston Cole has 3. Preston Cole has 13 stolen bases, leading the team in that. Ethan Bissell is the ERA has the best average, 0.48. TJ's leading the team with 26 hits. He's the leadoff hitter for us. Braden Harris has 21. Preston Cole has 20 RBIs. TJ has 13. TJ and Hunter are tied for 13. Jonas Wells has 12. TJ has the only triples on the team. Let's go find the pitching stats. Let's see. B. Harris, 36.2 innings,
75 strikeouts.
16 hits, 7 runs, 4 earned runs, 12 walks, and 75 strikeouts.
Yeah. Over 2 guys an inning. It's
Yeah.
pretty impressive.
Let's see how many pitches he's thrown. I always like to look at that. 562 pitches. That's a good bit right there.
100 more than the next for Stratman.
Stratman's now down. 10-9 in his elbow. He should be back soon. UNF commit. 26 innings, 19 hits, 12 runs, 10 earned, 11 walks, and then 40 Ks. Another guy is Ethan Bissell. 4 hits, 3 runs, 14.2 innings, 1 earned, 4 walks, 11 Ks. Faced 53 batters. Let's go to Providence. Got Brody Kraft batting 341, leading the team in the batting average. Luke Manderson batting 314. Then we got Grant Shepard batting 312. Landis Pickett with 2 home runs. Luke Manderson 2 home runs. Then we got Brody Kraft got 9 stolen bases. Landis Pickett with 3 in the next. ERA, Ryan Walls leading with a 2.56. Let's see. Brody Kraft leading the team in runs, which was 12. Luke Manderson leading the team in hits with 16. Brody Kraft next with 15, tied with Grant Shepard. Landis Pickett has the most RBIs, which is 11. Grant Shepard has the most doubles, which is 5.
They have a lot of triples. They have that's right there. That's 6 triples.
That's just right there.
Just with those 3. I don't know if they've had any more, but that's kind of a lot.
We only have 2. It's the same guy. Let's go to pitching. They got some pitching over there. That's probably their strongest point, I would say, is
and
is the
I feel like the
pitching
stats
side.
don't really
Show it all, you know?
Yeah, just like if you're looking at these stats, like St. John's stats look better, both hitting and pitching wise. But I mean, just like when I did the rankings, I think Providence is just slightly better right now, even though the stats don't really show it.
Yeah.
St. John's has had an up and down season. Started really slow, got hot there for a while. Was it like a 10 game win streak or something
Yeah,
like that, and then now as of late
I
lost
think.
four out of the last five. Both these teams have lost four out of the last five, which is maybe why these stats for Providence don't look as good as St. John's, because maybe a couple of these games just really weren't good statistically. Um, but I think both these teams can pitch really well. You want me to pull us back up?
Um, yeah,
Yeah. Both these teams pitch pretty well. I just really I'm coming to this game. I'm going to be filming it or whatever, but I really want to see Providence's bats pick it up a little bit. It's gonna be a tough test. You said maybe
yeah.
Braden
Maybe
Harris
a
on the
Brandon
mound.
Harris start.
Um, really good pitcher. Got to find ways. He strikes out a lot of people, so just putting the ball in play, making St. John's defense do something. Maybe they're getting a little stagnant, and when you have a pitcher that strikes out a lot of batters,
Yeah,
putting the ball in play a lot, hopefully, and score some runs. I'm excited for this game. I
yeah,
think it has a possibility to be a really good game. I'm
yeah. I
expecting a
agree.
lot of people to be there too.
Yeah, I think it's gonna be packed out. Kind of like the Bulls Episcopal game.
Hmm.
That's kind of how this game is. Two private schools going at it.
Yeah,
Both ranked high. We had a guy come over from Providence last year. So I think it's a lot of build up between this game. Um, they have some guys on the mound. They have an FSU commit that might pitch against us, so it might be FSU versus FSU future teammates, or they could pitch, the Ole Miss Ryan Walls.
hmm
Uh, we just got to see who they play this week, so
I mean, yeah,
we'll figure that out
they
by
play three
Thursday.
games, so you'll know
Yeah,
Thursday by who's starting.
we'll see. I think
Big
it'll
game
be yeah, big game for
in
us.
the city, and yeah, for both the teams, just in general, big
Yeah,
game.
I think we have 8 games, six,
You're 11 and
7 or 8
six, so you
games left.
played 17. So you played 25, right?
Yeah,
You have 8 games left. How many do you play this week?
three, two,
2 this week.
two, three,
So
three.
yeah, 3 weeks
Think that's
left
the
in the
math.
season. It's kind of that time where you
People
want
are,
to start turning things up. I mean, really locking in practice.
yeah,
Like nothing should be taken lightly anymore. Really, um, finding out all those kinks, all the issues that you're having as a
we
team,
starting to figure that out. Yeah,
chemistry, whether it's at the plate, on the mound, just figuring those things out. And it's not like you have to like be perfect next time you go out and play, but you want to show steady improvement. So the time playoffs roll around, you have confidence when you're at the plate. You're like, we can really do this. We can really go on a run, which
yeah,
a lot of these teams in Jacksonville, I think, can and have
I agree.
the ability to go on a run.
Which should be cool to see.
Yeah,
It
we'll
gives us more
obviously,
to talk about.
yeah, we'll be keeping our eye on that
Yeah.
and tracking that and
I got
rooting for
I got
any
a,
team really.
I got a question for you.
Yeah,
Why do you think you start to see more injuries this time of the season? I think we're in the middle of the season. You see a lot of pitching injuries. You see maybe like a hamstring, a groin,
yeah,
some type of shoulder. Why do you think that is? 'Cause it seems like it's like that every year. You always see a lot of injuries
yeah.
during the middle of the season.
Well, I think
Um,
one thing all is just the reps you're taking. Obviously, coming out of the fall and through the winter and all that, you kind of have a little bit of a break, and then or you're kind of just like taking it easier.
yeah,
And then when you're ramping things up, the beginning of the year, everyone's bodies are healthy, or most people bodies are healthy and in good shape and ready to go for the season. Then obviously you just have things happen sometimes, and otherwise maybe just your routine and the seriousness you take of stretching, kind of like midway through the year, you might kind of like slack off a little bit, maybe just depending on the person or the body, really. Um, so I think it's just important to find a routine. Like if you're a starter on a team, okay, say you're starting a Thursday, Friday you might take that day off, but you can't wait until Monday to throw a baseball
yeah. You
again.
gotta throw
You got to
some
have
time
some
in
sort of
between that.
something over the weekend that you're doing to
Yeah,
keep your arm in shape, because what you have, say
just
you
gotta
have
get
4 days of rest, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, you could throw if you wanted to in a Tuesday game. And if you're first time throwing again Monday, maybe you're rushing things into Monday to get on the a flat ground or something, and then
to
you're just
cause something.
not putting your body in the best spot. And same with uh like hitters and people who are playing the field. If you have a game Thursday or Friday, you're not doing anything, you're not stretching or anything again until that Monday after school at three
Yeah,
o'clock. You're not putting your body in the best spot to stay healthy,
Yeah,
which is sometimes happens. Sometimes it's just things happen. Your body's gonna
I agree.
it's gonna deteriorate as some bit through the season. So
What about when you see the hamstring injuries, quad injuries growing? You think that's from not stretching a lot during before practice and stuff like that?
I think there could be a couple reasons. I think stretching has a big thing to do with it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Obviously, that's why we stretch,
Yeah,
is to get our bodies ready. Making sure you're doing stagnant stretches along with like the calisthenic stretches and just getting everything as loose as possible. And I also think working out has a bit to do with it as well. Depending if you're like going really hard working out and you have sore muscles and everything before games and stuff, I feel like you're more prone to being injured
yeah,
then as well. I know that you remember Jacob kind of when he was going through where he was like really working out a lot, he was kind of hurt like for a while he just had something going on. His quads were hurt.
yeah.
Then he
I
had
agree with
his
that.
arm was hurting. And that's really kind of when he like put on a lot of muscle. So when you're working out, it's important to obviously build muscle, but
Stretch.
stay flexible
Yeah,
as well.
yoga. Do some yoga or
Yeah,
something.
something that keeps your body as loose. You don't want to lose your range of motion
Yeah,
when you're working out a lot, which
yeah.
could cause an injury as
I agree with that. You got any other questions off the top of your head
well.
we could talk about?
Not not really. Maybe maybe if we sat here for long enough, I could
Let me
probably think
think
of
about it.
something.
How about this? Put up that flyer.
Oh yeah.
You could maybe try to think of something, and we'll try to figure something out. We got a sponsor, North Florida Showcases. Putting out the first showcase. TJ Lanning over there is is setting this up for it says it's open to high school players from 2025 to 2029. It's open to JUCO players, transfer portals, and post grad. If you see there at the bottom, a good amount of colleges are going to be there. If you want to play college baseball, you'd want to go to this event. It doesn't look pitchers. It's only $150. Position players only $175. 2A $200. Nothing crazy. Um, you're going to be looked at. These colleges are there to look at the people, every single person at this place. So go check out their website. Um, North Florida Showcases. Sign up. It's the first annual North Florida Showcases. Excited to see how this one goes. It's this summer, June 14th at 2025 at 9 a.m. Let's see where it is. It looks like it's at FSCJ. The event includes a pro style workout, a defensive workout, a bullpen session, BP, and then yeah, you get to meet all the coaches after, which is pretty cool. Um, Class of 2027. This might be a great showcase for you to go to. This is in June. You can talk to colleges August 1st. So you want to get your name out there, or even the seniors or the juniors um, should be going to this showcase if you want to play college baseball and you haven't got that call yet. Um, it says pitchers and catchers check in at 8 a.m. and position players will need to check in at 9:30. Anyways, if you want to play college baseball, go find their Instagram, find their website. We'll put that in the link of this YouTube video. You guys can go sign up for this showcase.
Yeah, I guess we could talk a little bit about. I have a question for you. What what steps do you think to take, and how important are they to being recruited or finding a way to get your video across a college scout or coach?
Um, I think the big thing right now is X. Posting your clips on there. I see a lot of people post their clips, and people have actually started tagging me to look at them, to repost and stuff
Mm-hmm.
like that, which I think that's a cool thing. So start tagging me so I can see your stuff. Besides the fact, but I think a lot of people post their clips and tag the college coaches. I think a lot of college coaches run off of X, off of Twitter, which
Mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people in baseball, the baseball world, do that. Um, camps is a big thing
Yeah.
because they're actually there uh, to watch the camp.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's how you get your name out there big time. And then emailing coaches. I've heard people talking about they
Yeah.
start emailing a bunch of coaches, just send them clips and videos and stuff. So that's what I think. Most of my friends that are committed, they committed when they were young to a D1 school, um, just because highly ranked
Yeah.
and stuff like that.
I
They're
think
they're very known.
um I'm not really too sure on how the rankings work with like perfect game and stuff anyways, but I know I went to like two I think showcases or whatever, just going or camps and stuff like that throughout uh like high school, but I wasn't really too into playing in college anyways. But I think they're also just cool to go to in general, to be in that sort of setting
Yeah,
where you're competing against guys around you. I feel like you're kind of like you're going pretty hard
yeah.
there.
What kind of showcase, like PG, or
I did one perfect game one when I was like in like ninth grade
did you
or
get a
something like
PG
that.
grade?
No,
No.
that wasn't it wasn't like like the big ones or whatever.
Yeah,
It
yeah,
was
yeah.
just like one of
I
those.
got a PG grade.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
what is it?
What grade was I in? Like seventh or eighth grade. So I actually did like I thought I did like really good. Like I had the best VP round in my group. And I had some guys in my group. I'm not gonna name any names, but I had the guys that their names PG knew their names and stuff like that. I had a great defense. I had one of the fastest 60s
Ooh.
at the showcase. I got a 7. Got a nice little 7.
There you go.
Some of the other guys got 9s,
There you go.
8.5s.
They might
It
have
is what
been
it is.
they might have been a little bigger than you or
Yeah,
at the
they're a lot
time.
bigger than. It's just like everyone. Every team I've been on, everyone's bigger than me. I'm
Yeah.
the smallest on the team. It's
Okay.
all right.
Yeah. I also think it's important to talk to your coaches about these sort of
Yeah,
things because um a lot of the high school coaches in the area,
have contacts and
yeah, they know people or they know people that know people at schools in the area especially, and then like branching out as well. I was fortunate enough to have coaches that played MLB baseball and played in the minor leagues, played Division 1 baseball,
yeah,
and knew a bunch of people. So I was able to connect with colleges and see what opportunities I had. Ended up choosing not to do that, go that route, anyways. But taking advantage of any opportunity you can to connect to a college coach, scout, networking in any way possible is a good option to
yeah.
get your name out, get someone to look at a video of you, and just make them think for a second
Mhm.
about you.
Tell me why you didn't want to play college baseball. You were over it, or
Yeah, I just felt like it wasn't gonna be the same playing without the group of guys that I played with for a while. I kind of um just wanted to go ahead and get into life. Maybe like I love baseball. I regret not doing it now. I guess you could say I don't like I'm not like upset with what I my decision at all.
yeah, yeah,
Like I'm gonna hopefully have a job here, like my career job in like the next 2 years or so, and which I'm excited for that and all. But I don't know. I just don't think it was gonna be the same. And I guess at the time I wasn't as committed to the sport. I guess you could say. I mean, I really didn't work out a lot. And the opportunity I had, I just really feel like I wasn't gonna like it really wasn't gonna work out anyway. So I just
yeah.
kind of like I was like, well, oh well. What about you? You have you made your mind up on?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah,
yeah, yeah. I'm not gonna play college.
yeah. It's
I'm
not for
gonna.
everyone,
Yeah.
but like
Um.
you said, you love the game.
I love the game.
You're gonna be
I'm still gonna
around
be
it.
around it. Yeah.
It's just not for everyone.
Yeah.
There's a school for everyone though. If you do want to play college
I agree.
baseball,
Yeah, but I got a lot of stuff going for me already, so I'm gonna continue to keep doing that.
yeah,
Go to college for hopefully sports broadcasting. Be up in a booth one day, maybe for the NFL or the MLB, but
you'll be up there with
probably start somewhere low colleges or something like that. But that's the goal for now. But college baseball is probably the last thing on my mind. The
the
last
last thing. I
yeah
wouldn't
the
say
last
that.
year. I'd say that.
What if you had what if Florida called? Said,
I
Chandler.
want an answer. I would answer, but I tell them I don't want it. But let's be realistic. They're not gonna call me.
What if? You never
What
know.
if?
What if you take some supplements or something like that, and
Yeah, that's not happening.
you're like now 6 foot next year.
Yeah, that's not happening. I've been the same height since
It's
seventh grade.
all right, brother.
It's all right. This is a good episode. Good stuff. Two great game of the week. I'm excited for this one coming up.
Hmm.
We got a new camera. I gotta teach you the new camera. Show you some new things on there. It's gonna make our videos look a lot better. Subscribe to the YouTube. Subscribe to the X. Everything below there. Um, Stay up on our Instagram. We post a lot during the week.
Hmm.
Just some updates, stuff on the story. We post game of the week stuff and all the polls and all that good stuff.
Yeah.
I'm excited for this one. I'm playing in the game of the week, which is
First one. You're
just
on your YouTube
first
for the
one,
first time.
which is pretty cool. No, not the first. I think we
Oh,
played
Trinity. Yeah,
Trinity
Trinity.
Snyder
You were
last
on there.
year.
I
I think I
forgot.
was on there.
I'll make sure to zoom in
Zoom in extra
extra
on me.
close.
I'll make sure to I'll make a play.
Yeah.
I'll just give you a wave. So I can just post that on the
Yeah.
video. Anyway, subscribe to the YouTube,
Thank you
like,
guys.
watch all the videos, and we'll be back next week.